Good, well, afternoon where I am. It's time for some more Koans. It's been almost a week. I've been, well, busy. It's been, yeah, Koans. Hi Shane. It's been the Norwegian National Day and there's been plenty to do at work, so I haven't been able to stream some Koans, but now there was a little bit of time. And we're at the point where it takes almost 20 minutes to set up Koans for a new stream because of everything changing on every session. So that's something I need to figure out, but well, that's where we are. So let's continue with AboutWhereObject. So WhereObject is a pipeline commandlet used to filter a collection of objects and return only those that match the specified condition. Describe WhereObject, and it can filter value type collections. So contains 2 equals the collection where the object in the pipeline matches 2. So these are numbers, so it would try to cast it to a string then. Would that mean that we would get 002 and 020, 012 and 020 then? I guess. Yeah, let's try that. And it can filter on object properties. So collection is get child item, path home, recurse, step 2. So all files from 2 folders below my home path. Items with numbers is the collection where object and its name matches a digit. So what would that be in my home folder? So that was quite a few. Let's just see how many there were. Count should be 361. So this is also one of the things that will change with every session more or less, because my home folder is changing more or less constantly. But anyways, pipelines also work across line breaks as long as the pipe is at the end of the line. So result is items with numbers, get random, select object, expand property name, and that should be result. So the problem with this is we pull a random file, so there's really no way for us to know which one tester will get. So I get the point, but yeah, it's going to be different. This is going to be different on every run through. Wouldn't it? Yeah, it would. Let's just do this. Would be different, yeah. Yep. And it supports simplified syntax. So this music was a bit intense, I think. So collection is get child item path home. So most of the standard PowerShell operators are supported in this syntax. This is restricted to accessing properties by name and will not work for nested properties. So folders is the collection where object full name is like star a star. So basically any file which contains an A. So first two would be folders where select object first two, so it would select the two first one of those. So let's just run this to see which ones that would be. There you go. Yeah. So that would be Azure and Azure functions. So that was the entire where object. Okay, let's measure karma. And move on. So here we are again with waiting for measure karma. I've been thinking about are there stuff to stream as well. I'm just got, yeah, there's a lot of them. So I just got some solar panels on my roof, and I have an electric car, so I thought I would try to create something in Azure Functions or something like that that could start charging my car when the solar panels produce power. So that's the thing I've been thinking about streaming as well. Let's finish Koans first. 652 but got 653, where's this? That's on line 34. About measure object. I thought I cleaned out measure object. 34. Yeah, so there's even extra files. Yeah, there's even extra files added since I finished this before starting the stream. So there's a new file already. There are a lot of tests. I don't know if it... I think it's taking longer and longer because I think the Koans quits running the test when it gets to an error. I think so. That's my... I think it takes longer now that we're further in than it did when we started. It feels that way at least. But they are a bit annoying, these results that keep changing. Here we go. So now we're back on measure object, and line 81 failed. No, so still measure object. Yeah, that would change as well, of course. So now it's... can we just do, would it be happy with me if I just did this? Hopefully it will. I should probably just do that on every one of these. That will change every time. Just put whatever it has, or just remove it altogether. But then the total would fail. Yeah. Then the total would change as well. So it feels a bit cheaty. Well, so is the position what changes there? Yeah, so it probably stops, it probably does all the tests up until the Koan that you are running at the moment. So yeah, now we're on AboutForEachObject. But can we do, is there some, so there's nothing we can use to, we can run measure karma on only one. Oh nice. Oh, that's nice. So we don't have to run on every, run the full measure karma on every test. Okay, let's move on to AboutForEachObject then. For each object is cool. That's probably one of the, I think one of the functions that I use the most. So for each object, as the name implies, for each object acts like a loop, similar to the native for each keyword. It can be used at any point in a pipeline context to perform custom actions, not otherwise performed by existing commandlets. For each object, optionally takes parameters for begin and end script blocks, allowing it to become a sort of impromptu advanced function of sorts. So describe for each object. It is similar to for each. So we have a for each loop, which is equal to for each number in 1 through 10, and the number is printed to screen. So if we wanted, no, it's added to for each loop. So for each object, if we wanted to do the same, we would do the same, but we would use $_ instead. This is another VS Code bug, because this is allowed. It should be allowed. And yeah, let's test that, but with our newfound about for each. Yeah, so that's allowed. And it takes begin and end script blocks. So output is 1 through 5 for each object. Begin something, and process is the object in the pipeline, and end prints end. So output 0 should be bacon. So in that case, we should put bacon in begin, because then it would print bacon and then each number from 1 through 5, and then at the end it would print or send end to the pipeline. So output -1 should in this case be end. And it can iterate over only a specific property of the objects. So we have strings which contain hello, goodbye, what, you first. So we're going to do strings. For each object member name something should be 57449. So the member name should be length 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Yeah, should be length. Because that's a string on that's a member of the string object. Yeah. Okay. So if we do measure karma on AboutForEachObject again, now it's attempt to divide by 0. So we seem to have completed it, but there is some bug in measuring it when it's complete. Probably. Let's do a full measure karma then to see which is the next topic. Attempted to divide by 0. So total Koans when doing measure on topic alone results in a 0. So that's why it fails. Should probably make a bug about that as well. Yeah. It should at least be 1. I don't know where he pulls the... We could probably see it in the code. But that was a nice find at least, because this takes forever. There we go. We are on to AboutTObject. I'm not sure what TObject is, so this is one where I'm going to learn something, I think. So TObject is a utility commandlet that splits the path of pipeline objects. It directly passes through all objects that it receives, as well as storing a copy of the items either in a file or a variable. Okay, that sounds interesting. So describe TObject. It passes the object on through the pipeline. So in this case, the value passed to variable is created as a new variable. So 1 through 10. So we should do this. Should be $n. We should do like this. What would that do? So it would. Well, how would $n go? Is created as a new variable, but it does it create a new? It doesn't create a new one for each. Yeah. So it just singles out the object in the pipeline and puts it into a variable, and then you can keep treating it in the pipeline and doing stuff to it and still keep the original n here. So if we had done some select here, we would still, so we would be able to, yeah, so we could do like this and then select, so we could do $m equals this, and then we could do select or where equals 10. No. So in that case, m would be 10 and n would be the entire thing. Yeah, nice. That's pretty cool. So it's just a way to shoot an object in the pipeline off into its own at a given point in the pipeline before continuing treating it. That's pretty useful actually, I would assume. And it can store the object into a variable. And the variable name is passed as a string without a $sign. Yeah. So in this case we have alpha, beta, and gamma, and we t object into a variable called numbers. So this should be numbers, and numbers 1 should be beta. Someone is following. Who is following? Where's my XSplit? Oh, I missed it. Well, thanks whoever it was. I don't know where I see who just followed, but thanks for following. Appreciate it. And it can also store the objects into a file, half a bit. Yeah, nice. Thanks. Thanks for following. So file is a new temporary file. Output is 1 through 5 for each object. We format it as 1 over, so, and we t it into a file. So in this case we would, so this, if I remember my formatting correctly, it would give it a leading 0, right? Wouldn't it? No, it gives it 2 decimals. No, what does it do? It divides by it. So 1. Yeah, it gives it 2 decimal spots, and then it does a 1 divided by. So yeah. So we get 1.00, 0.50, 0.33, 0.25, and 0.20. So let's measure on measure karma topic about t. Expected null. Line 15. So why would $n be null? That doesn't return. Why doesn't that return anything? But it does it for each. So it expected null, but it got 1 through 10. So this is null. Why does it expect it to be null when we... Let's see if that changes anything. Oh. It still expects null. So there's something weird here with the entire thing, I think. Yeah, let's not try to troubleshoot this. Let's just do a quick cheat and maybe report this as a bug as well. It may be something that Pastor doesn't like, or if for whatever reason the variable might not be created until the pipeline is finished. I don't know. I don't know enough about T-Object. I don't know anything about T-Object really. No, me neither. So it, yeah, so it does the same thing. But on this one it's why would stored is this, yeah, file.fullname output. So he just yeah, puts it into something, but that's okay. So what if we run this then? File is new temporary file, and the output is not important, but let's just run it, and then we do a file get content. Oh. What? Yeah, so that's why. Probably. Let's just hush this. Oh. We probably need to do so, and then our file. Let's try running it now. See if we get the weird. No, it still doesn't. Expected. So it returns. Yeah, of course it does, because it writes them to the file as a string, of course, and that's why we see the comma sign, because my locale has the comma sign as a decimal separator. So we need to do it like this, and then like this. And now we should be good. We need to end that. There we go. yeah, and then we get the weird completion bug. So we do a full measure karma and we should be good to go. So this is a weird bug with it doesn't somehow it doesn't create the variable until the pipeline finishes. Maybe that's it. I think so. Well, it seems that way at least. Let's so if you define it outside the scope, well, that's even weirder, isn't it? Maybe should runs in its own no, because then it would be created outside. So this seems to be a pester. This seems to be a pester scoping issue then, probably. Probably. Okay. I'll accept it. Yeah. Sure. Yeah, on the Discord. Yeah, sure. Okay, but let's do one more then. About group object. The Google Assistant thought I talked to her. So about group object. Group object can group object based on essentially any criteria you need. Its primary focus is complex objects with properties, but it's perfectly possible to employ custom groupings on any dataset. So we have describe group object. Before all files equals get child item home. Yeah, so every file in 2 folders below my home path, and it groups items based on specified properties. So extensions equals files grouped by the property extension. So then we get structure of grouped objects is as follows. Count is the number of items in this group, name is the property that they are grouped by, and group is all the objects in the group. So extensions should be the 3rd item in the list, the 3rd group, I guess, and the extension of those files. So there's no way to figure this out here unless I run it. Let's see if we what do we get? So files is nothing. Oh, we need to run this first. Oh, again. There we go. And then we do this. So the 0, 1, 2, 3. So of course that's a real long one. .ASP.NET certificate sentinel. Dot extension. So let's see what that would be. Does it use the dot or not? Dot group, no extension, and then third item dot group dot extension. Yeah, so it uses the dot as well. And the count in the second group, so that's the group before, so that's 7z and that's 1. This is also something that would probably change, well, maybe not on each run, but it will change at some point. And then it can group on any custom expression. So name lengths is files where you group on the property, where you group on the length of the name of the object, and you sort you typecast the name to an integer and you sort by it. Is this, so that's, yeah, because the name here is the group name and the group name would be the length. Yeah, okay, so you typecast, yeah, I get it. And then you sort by the length of each file name. So shortest file name lengths. So that means that we can run this, and then of course multi-line doesn't work. Even with this, does it not? So we need to build it. Files. And then group object. And then sort object. Yeah, right, peon? PowerShell rules. So we are after name length 0. So this is this one. So shortest file names. So that's the name of the group, and that's this one, and the length of this is 1. Or am I completely off now? Let's measure this now. I think we probably should say that it is kind of both. I think, peon. It can be used as, well, it can be used as both. Of course I wouldn't try to, well, someone's done that as well, made games or something in it, but it's definitely not just a scripting language. It's hard to say, right, kind of, if you need to put it in one of those boxes, I don't think you can. So measure karma topic is about group object. So it's a bit quicker now. So it expected 4, but got 1. So why would it be length 4? Well, yeah, you. If they, this is. I think that this kind of thing is fairly stupid. because it's used for different stuff. You wouldn't do. Yeah, that's it. Because you wouldn't use C# to do any sort of management work or any kind of IT ops work. It's meant for different things, and yeah, that's it. So you use it for operations management for the most part, but you can say to people who know Python, that's cool, I know PowerShell, bro, because they are used for a lot of the same stuff. So I don't know. I think that kind of attitude towards other professionals is kind of stupid. If we need to create those kind of, I don't know, call it two opposing fronts, because it's not. That's my opinion, at least. So, but you can use any C# code you want in PowerShell as well, and it runs, because it's, yeah, it runs on .NET, so you can write C# in here if you wanted to as well. Yeah. Anytime someone tries to kind of this is where my knowledge of the English language stops me a bit, because I don't know all the ways to, or all the ways to say stuff in English in this case. It's when you try to look at yourself as better than anyone else because of stuff like this, it's not really yeah, it's just go away. Yeah. So PSKoans is it's a PowerShell project that is meant to be used as sort of a learning tool. So it is set up with a lot of tasks and there's tasks that is designed to make you learn about PowerShell, I guess. So it's a learning tool. So let's see, why would this be for though? So yeah, that's those. We do .group.name. Oh, so why is the group name? Of course, because it's group. Ah, okay. Well, then I agree. It's 4. So then we should be able to run through. Yeah, and then we get the weird bug, and then we can do a full measure. And after this, I need to end it, because I need to do some other stuff as well today. So it's starting to take some time to measure Carmeyer. We should be good to go in a couple of seconds, hopefully. I need to add, I've been playing with all my posh for command line. This is more or less fluff. But command line customization or prompt customization is pretty cool when you use all my posh. So I need to add last command execution time. That would be nice. Yeah, and I need to write some issues in Koans. we found quite a few actually today. So thanks for watching, everyone. I will see you next time. I'm traveling for work the next couple of days, so it's probably going to be next week until I continue, but yeah, we'll see. So thanks everyone, and see you later. Bye.